get ready to kickstart your journey to wellness with the ultimate guide in town. Welcome to Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone. Join us as we journey through the realms of natural healing, where ancient wisdom meets modern science. Prepare to be inspired by stories of transformation and triumph. With Doc Stone as your guide, discover the power of holistic living and the joy of reclaiming your health. Prepare for a whirlwind adventure through the world of holistic wellness. From fitness freaks to spiritual gurus, we've got something for everyone. So grab your sneakers, your yoga mat, or just your sense of curiosity, and let's dive headfirst into a world of wellness wonders. Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone. Your path to a vibrant life starts now. Well, hello, wellness warriors, and welcome to today's show. In the U.S., it is Independence Day, this July 4th, and we celebrate our freedoms here in the United States. And we are super, super excited to welcome you to this show where we are able to celebrate our health freedom. We're able to get free from our chronic illnesses. And I'm just super, super excited that each of you are here on today. I got kind of an interesting show for you today. Gonna talk a little bit about a topic that maybe you haven't heard of before, maybe you have heard of, maybe you're gonna think it's a little bit crazy, kind of like I thought about at first. But on this show, one of our goals is to introduce you to alternative, complementary, natural wellness techniques and modalities that maybe you haven't heard of before. This particular thing that we're going to talk about today is something that has made a difference, not only in my personal health, in the health of my family and my friends, but also the health of my clients. And it's something that I use in our practice as a natural medicine health coach. We use it on a regular basis. And so I just am just kind of excited to bring it to you today to introduce you to it. Maybe you've heard of this modality before. Maybe you haven't heard of it before. Either way, I'm looking forward to sharing with you a little bit today. Just as a reminder, before we get started, that anything that we talk about today is not intended to replace your medical provider, your licensed healthcare provider. So please make sure that if you're suffering any kind of illness or injury, make sure that you see your licensed healthcare provider. We are here to educate and to help to support you in reaching your wellness potential. So with that legalities out of the way, let's jump into today's topic. Let me kind of introduce to you first how I came across this modality and kind of the impact and the difference that it has had in my health. And I'm going to share a little bit about how I've used it to help other people as well. So, a very, very long time ago, Albert Einstein, very, very famous scientist, he said something that's become a pretty famous quote now, but he said that in the future, all medicine will be frequency medicine. All medicine will be frequency medicine. So what does that really mean? What is frequency and how does it relate to medicine? And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today. This isn't no means going to be a in-depth study that's going to completely prepare you to understand the concepts, but I want to introduce it to you. I want to maybe whet your appetite a little bit to explore some more about this fabulous complementary medicine modality. So here's the basic concepts. Our bodies are all frequency. Our cells create frequencies. And so therefore, if we can read those frequencies, we're able to possibly determine imbalances in those frequencies that may indicate there's a health issue happening. So I was introduced to a natural medicine doctor, a scientist who introduced me to this modality. And I'm going to be honest, at first I was still kind of not really in the natural health space, didn't really understand a whole lot about complementary medicine. And I thought that this was a little bit crazy that he said that he could virtually, he was actually in the country that he could scan the frequencies from my body using quantum physics and technologies that were developed or inspired by Tesla and Rife and Einstein, and he would be able to just read and get a multiple page report on the frequencies of my body that could be indicative of certain health issues. I thought it was a little bit crazy. I wasn't quite sure what to think about it, but I jumped on this virtual remote session with him, and he performed this scan with this technology and began to go over the report with me. And the report was very, very accurate. How do I know it's accurate? Well, because having been a diabetic for many, many years, I see a conventional medicine doctor every 3 months, and just the week before, I had my regular 3-month blood tests. So when this natural medicine doctor was going through this report from this scan where he said he was scanning the frequencies in my cells and generating this report, he began to point out things in the blood section and in the body section that I hadn't given any my health history. And they indicated the same issues that I've been diagnosed with by a conventional medicine practitioner. So I was a little bit intrigued. I thought maybe this was just some kind of spoof. In fact, he was even able to tell me, based off this report as he's going through, that you have some pain in your right shoulder. You've had some issues in there. Now, I had never again given any of my medical history, but I'd had multiple surgeries on my right shoulder. So I was pretty intrigued. And I began to introduce other people, brought my wife on, had this same technology used to scan her, and was able to pinpoint injuries that she'd had specifically to her left knee, which again, we hadn't given him any kind of a medical history from my wife. And he was able to also pick out other issues that she had suffered with for a very, very long time. So I began to introduce more people and bring more people for this scan because I was like, okay, there's 2 times now that is pretty accurate. And time after time after time, people I introduced to this scan found that it was pretty accurate with what they had. So I began to dig into it more and added it to my coaching practice. And I've since then been able to use this technology to help a lot of people to improve their health and wellness and to become more educated about what's happening inside of their bodies. One of the functions of this technology is that we can set out what's called subtle energy frequencies to help to balance the imbalanced frequencies that a person is experiencing in their body. Now, when I was newer to the technology, I still was a little bit unsure, but I was suffering really bad one day from super, super severe hiccups. Couldn't stop. In fact, it was getting to the point where I was having a hard time breathing. I found a frequency in this technology to offset hiccups. And within just a few minutes of sending those frequencies to my body, I stopped hiccuping. So this technology uses what's called bioresonance. So basically, bioresonance says that we can read these frequencies in your cells, and then we can send counter frequencies to the individual to balance those out. Kind of think about it like this: you throw a pebble into a lake, and you get these waves or these ripples that go out. And then if you throw another pebble next to it, these waves come and they will hit those waves, and they will change the direction of the original waves. And so by determining these waves or these frequencies that are out of order inside of your body, if we send a countering frequency, we're able to change the direction of those negative frequencies that are actually causing health issues for you. So we're able to help to counteract those. Now, some people go, well, this is woohoo medicine, right? What's the science behind it? Now, granted, there's not a whole lot of research, but there has been some published medical studies in the National Institutes of Health and PubMed regarding bioresonance and the effectiveness of it. So here's the things that are pretty interesting. A 2014 study is published in PubMed on smoking cessation. Smoking cessation, that is, means to help people to stop smoking, showed that those who received bioresonance therapy, which is what we're talking about in this technology, 77.2% of them quit smoking after a week of this therapy. That's a pretty big percent versus only 54.8% of the placebo group. So this is pretty amazing. Those who are looking for smoking cessation, this published study showed that there was a significant improvement in the ability to quit smoking when bioresonance therapy was used as the modality for that. Bioresonance said reading frequencies, sending balancing frequencies out. So that's one study. There's been multiple studies done as well on things from stomach pain to allergies to rheumatoid arthritis, and so there are studies out there, and there is literature that is published, though there hasn't been a lot of study on it. Can't tell you why, but it is something that more and more studies are being done. In fact, studies on astronauts using this technology to help with the health of astronauts as they are in the space station or orbiting the Earth, being able to measure their health statuses and to send balancing frequencies to them as well. So this is a pretty exciting therapy. It's an amazing when you look into the science and the quantum physics behind it, and the thoughts of quantum entanglement and how people do it. But it is fairly accurate. Some studies show that the reports generated by this technology that I use in my practice is 75% accurate when you go and compare it with blood tests or x-rays or MRI scans or anything like that. So, it's something that, I wouldn't use it in an emergency situation. If you're in an emergency situation, obviously you need to go see a licensed medical practitioner. But if you're looking for a way to promote health, both your emotional health. The technology has fantastic way to measure the emotions that maybe were triggered by trauma as a kid or as an adult, and to be able to find those frequencies in your voice and to help to give you audio um, tracks to balance out to improve emotional status and to heal some of that emotional trauma. As we know, natural practitioners, anyways, we know that emotional trauma is oftentimes a root cause of a lot of the chronic illness that our clients face. And so, if we can address those emotional traumas for people, then we can help them address their chronic health issues as well. So, what is this technology that I use in my practice to not only help myself and but also to help my clients? And I'm going to share that with you in just a second. I want to share just a couple more testimonies with you before I dive into what this technology is. But I've used this technology to scan my wife without her even knowing that I was scanning her. Of course, I have her permission to do so. I was scanning to see where her frequencies were. I always try to check on the status and the health of my family. And it indicated that there were some issues maybe in her ovary that was acute. In other words, it's something that's a frequency that's out of whack and is not necessarily chronic. At that point, my wife looked fine. About 20 minutes later, she's laid up on the couch and she had an ovarian cyst rupture and was laid up on the couch with heat pads on and a lot of pain. And I balancing frequencies out to her. And within a short amount of time, 30 minutes, she was back up off the couch and ready to go. Now, she's had ovarian cyst rupture in the past. Sometimes it can take a few hours for the ovarian cyst, for the pain, for her to be able to get back. But using this technology, not only did I detect it ahead of time before she actually knew that her ovarian cyst was going to rupture, but once it did rupture, I was able to help her to recover and get back on her feet faster. Another time, same thing. She all of a sudden wasn't feeling good. She was laid up. She couldn't think. She had brain fog. I did a scan on her, and within a short amount of time, was able to get her up off the couch and back to work. So definitely. This technology has the ability, in our experience, to make some changes in health. So there's just a few testimonies that not only on the scan and the reports it give you, it generates a good 60 to 70 page plus report, and is able to look at those different frequencies. And you don't have to be in person to do it. So we help our clients virtually and remotely to do these scans. We can do them on a one time basis, or we can set up recurring scans for them. But we are able to send them these reports and send out these audio files to them to help them to address those emotional traumas, but also to address the other frequencies are counting or triggering their chronic health issues. So I'm just going to share a little bit here. Here's a presentation. We're going to share a little bit about this technology that I use in our practice and has helped so many people. But we use the AO scan technology. It used to be a $35,000 desk unit that you had to do in person, but over the years we've developed the technology so that we could work and make it as affordable for people as possible to be able to address their health issues and to improve their health. Now, this isn't just for those who are sick and suffering from chronic health issues, but it is for those, even those athletes or whatnot, who want to be able to continue to improve their health and to get better with their health. So we use this technology, again, like I said, is based upon the studies of Einstein and Rife and Tesla. And so we take all of these technologies from these very well-known scientists, developed this tech software in order to be able to assist people with their health and wellness. So what is the AO scan technology? It's a unique, we call it an educational tool, because we can't say we diagnose or treat disease. The FDA won't let us say this, but it is a educational tool that helps you to understand what your body's doing, how it's performing, and what is going on in it frequency wise. And then this is a little bit of history of it, but it was developed years ago. Swenson, and he developed it to help his son who had cerebral palsy. That's a great testimony and a wonderful story as well. That's pretty inspiring. So there's 7 major features of this technology that we use. We do quick and easy scans, subtle energy frequency imprinting. Like I mentioned, we can create our own homeopathics with it, energy homeopathics with it. And the inner voice is probably the most popular one. And this is where we actually take the notes, measure 12 notes in your voice, and we are able to determine from your voice a lot of the things going on in your body, but also your emotions and how we can help you to strengthen those. So we use this technology. I use this technology on my own personal health every single day. I use it with clients. So we have a bunch of different types of scans that we can do. We can scan the vital signs. We can scan, the comprehensive, but the inner voice is probably the flagship of our technology. And this is definitely something, even by, if there was no other parts of this technology, this right here is worth every single penny right there. We're able to do different vital reports, food allergies, sensitivities, able to measure infections, frequencies from these, and just kind of give you a education report on the performance of your body. We do body system scanning, kind of like a X-ray MRI type. It's going to measure the brain. It's going to measure the frequencies in your bones, measure them in your tendons, in your lymphatic system, even all the way down to your DNA. So we're taking this energy and we are running it through the software through over 150,000 different blueprints, and we are able to generate a report of how your body is doing. Again, the subtle energy frequency imprinting, we're able to generate energetic homeopathics for clients and help them to address a number of issues. So we have a lot of other resources available, but this is kind of the idea of what technology is all about. It's science. It's not woohoo magic or anything like that. This is science. Einstein called it years and years ago when he said in the future all medicine would be frequency medicine. So what we do is we are able to just help people to learn more about what's happening inside of their bodies and how they can improve it. But by also sending our optimizing frequencies, we're able to throw the other stone in the lake of their health and help to counteract any ripples that may be going in the wrong direction for their health. So this is an amazing technology. I think there will be more research into it in the future. But if you're looking for a non-invasive way that doesn't require you to have needles or get radiated with X-ray or MRI machines or anything like that to educate yourself about what's happening, this is a fantastic way to be able to do that. So we definitely are excited to see in the future how this technology grows and how we can see a grasping of using frequency medicine in not just the alternative medical field, but even more and more in the more conventional medical field. So, super excited to see the possibilities and do your research. If you want to learn more or to schedule for your own frequency scan and to get a report, your extensive report on what is happening inside of your body, feel free to reach out. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share. Whether you're watching it on Roku or you're watching it online or you're listening to this on Spotify, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you get everything. Again, the whole purpose of the show is to help to introduce people to alternative and natural ways to improve their health. We believe in healthcare freedom, and I think that's just appropriate for this Independence Day here in the United States. That we want you to be able to choose whatever form of medicine you want to use for your health. We think that you have the right to do that, and so we're going to introduce you. We're going to educate you again. If you are suffering any kind of a medical condition, make sure that you check with your licensed health and make sure that you certainly, if it's an emergency, that you get to the emergency room or anything like that. This is for education. We're not diagnosing or anything like that. But if you would like to schedule your scan, I will put a link in the show notes for you that you're able to do that. We'd be happy to help you to generate your report. But keep investigating. Keep your curiosity when it comes up to your health and to different ways to improve your health. Keep that curiosity flowing, because that is how we improve our health. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoy this introduction to bioresonance and to frequency medicine, as well as the AO scan technology we use in our practice and in our family to help people. There is so much more to this topic and so much more to the technology. We are just running out of time. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we will be happy to answer them. In the meantime, next week, be well. And we hope that you and your family enjoy this holiday here in the U.S. Thank you for watching Wellness Unleashed with Doc Stone on the AeroStream TV network. The opinions expressed by the host and guests of this show are theirs and not the opinions of the network or our sponsors. None of the information shared on today's episode should be taken as medical advice. Statements have not been approved by the FDA or any other governmental authority. And if you're experiencing any kind of illness or wellness issue, you are encouraged to consult with your licensed healthcare practitioner. And we do appreciate you watching our show and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.